today's news, the BVI Airports Authority Board dissolved, Social Security Board and the BVI Tourist Board next in line. And fire officers' burial stopped after motorcycle found intact. We also see the Rotown Wholesale recalling Jif peanut butter after U.S. salmonella cases. And Culture Department renews interest in museums. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What's your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Well, a happy Tuesday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast from government's press conference earlier today, where the BVI Airports Authority Board is now the latest statutory board to be dissolved, with the Social Security Board and the BVI Tourist Board next in line. Well, this was relayed by the Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, during a press conference today, Tuesday, May 24th, where he confirmed that the BVI Ports Authority Board was now officially dissolved, adding that the BVI Airports Board followed a similar fate, where members either resigned or their tenure expired.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that in a previous update, I confirmed that the BVI Ports Authority Board would be dissolved. The most recent board is no more, and advertisements have been sent out for new members. You will also recall that I stated that we will be assessing other statutory boards to determine if they should be dissolved or changes made to their composition that are in the public interest. Today, I would like to announce that the BVI Airports Authority Board will have a new board. I've spoken to the chair of the board and communicated the government's wish to dissolve the most recent board. The membership of the entire board has expired or members have given their resignation. I thank the chairman and members for their service. We have also come to the conclusion as a government that it is in the public interest to have a new Social Security Board. The chairman is currently away from the territory, and the deputy chairman has already resigned. I take this opportunity to thank the chairman and membership for their service to the people of the Virgin Islands.
While Premier Wheatley also addressed the BVI Tourist Board, hinting that a new board is on the horizon for the statutory body.
As it concerns the BVI Tourist Board, this statutory board is critical to supporting our tourism sector. The appointments of the current board members will expire shortly. Once this happens, new appointments will be made with strong representation from across the various sectors of the tourism industry. Tourism is too critical to our economy to not have such strong sectoral representation. I ask for the industry's support as we prepare for the upcoming tourism season. Ladies and gentlemen, the Government of National Unity's action on statutory boards is another step in the right direction as we reform government.
While the leader of government business also made it clear that the removal of the present person sitting on boards does not indicate that they are involved in any wrongdoing or are being criminally investigated. But he further reiterated his stance on the new composition of statutory boards, stating that the previous practice of having one person sitting on multiple boards will be no longer.
I want to make it clear that these boards are not being dismantled because of any knowledge of wrongdoing by the most recent membership. I personally know that we have members who have made strong contributions, who are people of integrity, who have sacrificed countless hours of their time and energy, but given recent events, it is important for us to have a fresh start. As I previously stated, it is not good practice for persons to sit on multiple statutory boards. These bodies should never be unduly influenced through the concentration of the same people sitting on several boards at the same time. Cabinet will very soon commission a development of a proper protocol for the appointment and dismissal of statutory board members to ensure the process is transparent and that the criteria against which people are selected for statutory boards is appropriate.
Well, viewers, moving on to our next story, where in a heartbreaking turn of events, relatives of fallen fire officer Shaquai Smith stopped his burial on Saturday, May 21st, while suspicions of his death continue to mount. Well, plans for interment at the Johnson's Gut Cemetery changed as family members decided to return the body back to the hospital's morgue to allow for an autopsy to be performed. The 24-year-old Smith, a well-known fire officer, died at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital on Friday, April 22nd, 4 days after he was allegedly involved in a scooter accident in the Bellevue area. However, at the time of the accident, Smith's motorcycle was not found on the scene upon arrival of police, but the motorcycle has since been recovered, allegedly intact. Well, this has heightened the fears of close family and friends of a suspicious death. Well, Smith, who joined the BVI Fire Service in February 2017, received a full ceremonial honor of guard as a fallen firefighter. Well, the funeral service was held at the New Life Baptist Church. Well, since Smith's death and since the events of his funeral unfolded, there have been no statements or updates from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force. Well, viewers, more to come on this developing story. Well, up next, viewers, the Road Town Wholesale recalls Jif peanut butter after U.S. salmonella cases. And we also see the Culture Department renews interest in museums. Well, these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting. For people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, Roton Wholesale Group of Companies has announced that it will be undertaking a decontamination process in its warehouse and retail shelves following the recall of a number of Jif peanut butter products due to salmonella contamination. Well, this was confirmed in a recent media release by the local supermarket, which urged all consumers with affected products to return them to any right-where food market location for a full refund with or without a receipt. Well, viewers, the release said, and I quote, "If you feel that you have been affected by this public health alert, feel free to contact Roton Wholesale Group of Companies at 347-1050, end quote. Well, But the announcement by Rotang Wholesale follows an immediate recall by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, also referred to as the FDA, which advised all consumers, restaurants, and retailers not to eat, sell, or serve any recalled Jif brand peanut butter products that have lot code numbers 1274425 through 2140425, only if the first 7 digits end with 425. But the FDA warned that the product has a 2-year shelf life and therefore urged consumers to check any Jif peanut butter products within their homes. But the FDA also advised residents with the affected products to wash and sanitize surfaces and utensils that could have touched the peanut butter. But the FDA, along with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, also referred to as CDC, said they are investigating a multi-state outbreak of salmonella infections linked to certain Jif peanut butter products produced at a J.M. Smucker Company facility in Lexington, Kentucky. Well, initial findings from the CDC's review of epidemiological information indicate that 5 out of 5 people reported consuming peanut butter, and 4 of the 5 people specifically reported consuming different varieties of Jif brand peanut butter prior to becoming ill. Well, the FDA also conducted a whole genome sequencing analysis on an environmental sample collected at the Lexington J.M. Smucker Company facility in 2010. Well, according to the FDA, the analysis showed that this 2010 environmental sample matches the strain causing illnesses in this current outbreak in the United States. Now, moving on, viewers, in recognition of the International Museum Days, observed from the 16th of May to the 20th, the Department of Culture held a number of talks with secondary school students, hoping to bring awareness to the career opportunities within the sector. Well, in a recent government report, the Director of the Department of Culture, Dr. Catherine Smith, recapped these visits. Take a listen.
What we did was, in terms of presenting to the public, we facilitated or we produced a number of storytelling videos. And what happened was that the curators doubled as storytellers and were able to kind of showcase each museum and what it really is about through the telling of 1 or 2 fascinating stories. And in terms of showcasing museums, we included the secondary school visits in terms of the career sector.
So were the students able to visit the museums, or were you going to the students and presenting on museums?
We went out to the students and presented on, what we did was we showed the videos, which we posted for the public, and based on the videos we had a discussion, and then we went fully into the career sector, that was the main point of visits to the secondary schools, just to kind of open up their minds about the museum sector internationally as well as locally, the different careers, what it takes to become that, what that person actually does. And the other interesting thing about this was that through those presentations, we're able to share a lot of Virgin Islands history as well, especially in a visual way.
Indeed. Well, museums being a very visual demonstration of that. So tell us a little bit more about how the school visits went. Which schools did you go to? Were the students receptive?
Each school has its own character, which is always the case, and which is always very, very informative and instructive. So because of recent events, we had to do some of those visits virtually, like with Claudia Creaky.
Okay.
Yes, Claudia Creaky Educational Center and Brigado Flax Educational Center. You know the recent events, COVID related.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. But the intention was to visit, and we were very excited about doing that. But that is how that happened. But we want to visit with many more activities in the future, the sister islands. And so, of course, we went to St. George's Secondary School, Cedar International Secondary School, and also Elmore Stout High School.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Smith also said that the students spoken to were a mix of both junior and senior high school students from the general student population of each school. She added that it was important to make these presentations to the students regarding different museum career paths in order to develop what the museums in the BVI has to offer. But she also explained some of the other potential paths persons interested in the sector could pursue.
It was important because, the theme is the power of museums. And when we really look at it, if we really want to harness the power of museums, I think a good way to do that is to explore more professional qualification in the museum sector. Okay, so where are we right now? Right now, we have small museums, and in a lot of cases, we're very lucky to have individuals in there when you come to the museums who greet you and who act as curator, and they are able to act as curator because of their immense knowledge of the subject matter. I'm talking about persons like Mrs. Romelia Smith, Miss Rosie Smith, Mr. Ruben Vanderpool, Mr. Egbert Donovan. They are very familiar with the subject matter of the museums, and they would act as curator, which is one of the career paths that I shared with the students. So I think, though, that I wanted to bring other career paths that would exist within the museum sector, to our students.
And what were they? What did you share with them as other career options?
Okay, so this is a great opportunity for anyone who might be interested in the museum sector to understand, a few of the fields and what it takes and what those persons do. I just mentioned the curator. So if you were a young person and you were graduating and you wanted to enter the museum field, you may want to pursue your, say, bachelor's in museum studies or art history, something like that. Yeah. Because with that particular profession, that person has to know about every single item in the collection. That person has to know the history behind. When I'm talking about knowing every single item, okay, who owned it? Where was it created? Who created it? Which year? Yes, the provenance, the history of ownership. Condition reporting. They have to probably oversee caring for the artifacts. Each artifact, depending, as you would know, depending on its material, takes a certain type of care. Yes. They even oversee the educators that work at museums in terms of how they educate about the museum. They are the face of the museum, where they would go to interviews. Let's say, I don't know, they worked at one of the Smithsonian museums in Washington, D.C. Okay, and we just got the latest, I don't know, dinosaur that was found. So, and they would make the big announcement. They have to liaise with the board of directors. They have to liaise. They have to circulate at fundraisers. So that particular career is one that's very exciting and takes a bit of work and a bit of research. And with our small museums, and you pursue your bachelor's, and that's a great path. If you want to work in a larger one, of course, you need to go further and pursue graduate work.
Well, viewers, up next, Safe Haven Bridge the Gap hailed a success. And in regional news, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Motley is on Time's most influential list. Well, we get to those stories after a word from our sponsors.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, over the weekend, the Safe Haven Transitional Center launched its Bridge the Gap showcase aimed at encouraging the public to destigmatize receiving mental health services. Oral Grant has the story.
Over the weekend, the Safe Haven Transitional Center launched its Bridge the Gap showcase aimed at encouraging the public to destigmatize receiving mental health services. Acting social worker Mr. Lauren Smith, speaking exclusively with 284 Media, spoke about the success of the event.
In our view, the event was a success. We started things off with our chaplain, Dr. Robert Wright, blessing the day's proceedings, followed by the welcoming and introduction of our host by Neville George Bonstaff, the director. Safe Haven's very own Mr. Kenton McKenzie and Ms. Kishan Thomas did a phenomenal job as the host. We officially began with Pastor Mills, who presented on the impact of spirituality on our mental wellness. The Minister of Health and Social Development, the Honorable Marlon Penn, the at-large representative, the Honorable Carvin Malone, and our Premier, Dr. Honorable Natalio D. Whitley, gave their remarks and showed their support for the initiative. We had a number of live performances, beginning with Maccabee of Harambe Band and Che Pemberton, who captivated the sitting audience and got them involved with his electrifying dance. The Adoje Dance School dancers also executed an amazing performance. And we ended our live performances with a duet by the Gods Movement. Dr. Martin of Therapy to Thrive gave a demonstration of a mindfulness exercise technique we could use to help in managing daily stress.
Yeah, it's the new calypso, no summertime fling. Rocking through the rhythm and the style we are bring. Energy electric, I step in at the ring. Chipping and a chipping with a pretty little thing. And I know that it's gonna be my day. With the love and it's gonna go my way. Yeah, it's the new calypso, no summertime fling. Rocking through the rhythm and the style we are bring. Energy electric, I step in at the ring. Chipping and a chipping with a pretty little thing. And I know that it's gonna be my day. With the love and it's gonna go my way. Middle of the road and we gotta do a thing. When the vibes start popping now, popping now, popping now. Yeah.
The open panel discussion was also well received, with our mental well booth involved, such as Dr. Tono of Community Mental Health, Dr. Tompkins of EAP, Ms. Lloyd of the BVI Red Cross, and Ms. Marissa Stubbs of 5 Doctors. We had very involved and hands-on presentation at booths on site from vendors such as Juanita Michelle, Self-Expression and Life Reinvention Coach, Trinity Counseling, and She Designs the Life She Wants. Creative Creations help to provide a more family-friendly environment with decorations and free balloons that went along with the bouncy castle for children. Driftwood Spa also provided free massages to help relieve any tension one would have had experienced. The community came out and showed support. However, it appears that due to the nature of the event, our general population is still a bit timid. We would like to give a big thank you to our sponsors, the Ministry of Health and Social Development, the Cyril B. Romney Pear Park, Nagico, CCT, BVI Tourist Board, the BVI Red Cross, Aruma's Cigar Lounge, Creative Creation, P3 Paper Plastic Products, Max Bakery, and Nova Vita. We would also like to thank all the companies that donated towards the raffle prizes: Eco Adventures, Clarence Thomas Limited, Fit Factory, Tortola Sports Club, Speedies, Island Services, Infinite Solution, iSmart, Mia Mord, Mobile Hub, Class, People's Shoe Store, Goodfellows, Crocs on the Pair, Karima's Mary Kay, Johnny's Health Spa, and Save the Seed. The Safe Haven Transitional Center and all the mental wellness providers professional will continue to do our best to educate the general public on mental wellness and ways to manage one's mental health.
Smith added that the purpose of the showcase was to create a relaxing and entertaining environment where community members came out and were educated about mental health issues and services available locally. The showcase also sought to bridge the gap between mental and physical health, needing mental wellness services and knowing how and where to access these services in the territory of the Virgin Islands. The showcase took place this past Saturday at the Cyril B. Romney Tortola Pier Park, featuring some 12 booths, mental health, wellness, and life coaching services, a panel discussion, bouncy castle for the kids, massage therapy, yoga, DJs, and live performances, as well as an exciting soca aerobics and life coaches. It is hoped that more events like this will take place to educate the public on services offered locally. Ron Grant, reporting for 284 News.
Well, thank you, Ron. Well, moving on to our final story, where a prominent Caribbean leader has made it to Time magazine's 100 most influential people of 2022 list. Well, this leader is no other than Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottleey. Our Nia Douglas has more.
There are some who stand tall and stand out no matter where they are from, whether a large, densely populated country or a small island nation. Prime Minister Mia Mottleey of Barbados is one such person. Bold, fearless, and possessing a great intellect and wit, the Prime Minister is a brilliant politician who knows how to shake things up, says economist Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who wrote the Time article dedicated to Mottleey. In her official interview with Time magazine, Prime Minister Mottleey said she believes she is here to represent the interests and voices of others.
The choice of my public life has been to be a lawyer, an advocate, as well as to be a representative of the people. And I say representative as opposed to politician, because I believe that I'm here to represent the interests and the voices. And there's so many who are voiceless, and there's so many who are incapable of action. But if those of us who have the capacity can make that difference in their lives, then the world will be a better place.
Time also lauded Mottleey's passion for combating climate change, noting her powerful remarks at the 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, which were highlighted in her interview.
We come to Glasgow with global ambition to save our people and to save our planet.
The climate crisis, and I don't say climate change, the climate crisis is real. And the time for climate justice is also upon us. Because if we're going to do the things that are necessary for us to adapt to this new reality, it takes time and it takes money. We have these conversations internationally and in meetings about adaptation as if time is not a problem sometimes. We're at 1.2 already, and look at what 1.2 is doing for us.
Okonjo-Iweala ends by stating, Mia Mottleey is an icon in her country, having won re-election by a landslide. The Prime Minister strides boldly on the world stage. She is an embodiment of our conscience, reminding us all to treat our planet and therefore one another with love, dignity, and care. Nia Douglas, 284 News.
Well, thank you, Nia. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great evening. Goodbye.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.